What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? As always, Robert Reynolds. Today, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk football and recruitment with none other than 2024 receiver Alex Taylor out of Grimsley. Alex, how's it going, my man?
Doing good. How are you?
Not too bad, my man. Not too bad. It's a hot day, so we're trying to stay
Yeah.
cool and hydrated, right? But first things first, welcome. Thanks for taking the time to do this interview. Uh, but let's go ahead and break this down, right? So,
Mm.
there's a lot to go on, right? Just recently, right? Just recently, for on your birthday, for that matter, just coming off of a fresh Clemson offer, right? Fresh Clemson
Yes,
offer.
sir.
For anybody that doesn't understand or doesn't know Alex, right? Top 200 player in the 2024 class as it stands right now. Um, do your research. I'm going to tell you that it's worth doing the research. But my first question to you: what was that like getting that offer on your birthday, for that matter?
It was definitely exciting. Definitely getting the call from Coach Grissom because me and him sharing the same birthday. So I also got to talk to Coach Sweeney, which pretty amazing considering he's a Hall of Fame coach. First 2024 receiver to receive that offer. So it was really exciting, especially coming from that camp.
Yeah, I know you had just got took that weekend trip, I think, to visit down there, or yeah, down there in Clemson. So obviously, getting that offer, listen on your birthday for sure. I'm sure that made a interesting birthday nonetheless. Um, but obviously, that's a very notable offer. But that's not your only offer, right? I think you're at what 12 now. I think 12 or 13.
Yeah,
I think at this
12
point.
right now.
Yeah, 12. So you're looking at offers from just to name a couple. I'm gonna let you name them if you want to name them all. But obviously Clemson, West Virginia, Penn State. What are some other offers that you got currently, and some schools that that are interested in you that might potentially offer down the road?
I got an offer from UNC. I'm going to the Showtime camp the 18th, so this Saturday. Excited to go there. I've offered from Virginia Tech and Virginia. Trying to get back up to Virginia. Talk to their coaching staff and also Virginia Tech take an unofficial there. Got an offer from my hometown, Auntie, which is pretty exciting for me.
Aggie Pride.
Definitely. UNC Charlotte. I'm missing. I think I'm missing something, but I
I think
can't
you
really
got
think of
all
one
the
now.
you got all the if I'm not mistaken, all the in state
Oh,
out of
NC State. NC State. Can't forget about that.
well, you got
Yeah,
I think you got
just
Wake as well too. I think.
yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Wake
So I
and
mean,
Coastal Carolina.
yeah, you
So
covered it. You covered it in North Carolina, right? So
yeah, basically, pretty much.
now, are there any schools that you're interested in, or that are interested in you and might see an offer down the road, in your opinion?
Recently I haven't been talking to nobody, but I've been getting some high college coaches following me on Twitter. So just seeing where that takes me from there,
I was
getting
about
to
to say
know
that's the
them.
start. That's definitely the start.
Yeah.
That's definitely the start. Now, obviously, for those that don't know Alex, right? Alex is a 6'3", I believe, about 180, 185, I believe. Receiver, can do both positions, right? He played DB for practice more so than anything, but had the ability to do so. Which leads me to my first question by a fellow teammate. Would you be willing to switch positions in college?
I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to, but I mean, if I have to, if I'm good there, can make it to the NFL from that position, I would. So I would if
You
I
heard
have
it
to.
here, coaches. You heard it there. I'm just gonna leave that there. You're welcome, Bryce, for that question. Just letting you know. Uh, but listen, so obviously 6'3", about 180, 185, if I'm not mistaken. Watching the tape, man, it's one of these things where you have that kind of a blend of route running with speed and possession receiver as well. That kind of you can go up and catch 50-50 balls pretty easy. Using the height and things like that, kind of boxing out DBs, but you have the ability to get past DBs as well. So you have that multi-dimensional type receiver. And going back to last season, right, as a sophomore, you, I want to say you got 660 yards, which is respectable, with still giving you a chance to grow right into this season. Obviously, your junior season.
Yeah.
What were your takeaways from this past season, and what are you focused on? I guess in ways to get better, to improve on this upcoming season.
Well, as you said, I did good on getting the 50-50 balls last year, getting open on the 1v1 if we had the chance to. But now teams are playing the zone, so we're really working on curl flats right now, finding an open window. I feel I can get better with breaking tackles. Definitely trying to get that this year and get on my 40 to about 4.4 speed. So definitely trying to just blaze past guys this year, especially on fly routes since they play more farther off now.
Yeah. Now, what's your favorite route if you had to choose one currently?
I would say post. Yeah,
Posts are fun to throw too. Posts are always fun to throw. Yeah, you look at certain routes, right? I think obviously from a receiver standpoint, right, especially trying to move to the next level, you want to be fluid and comfortable with all routes, right? Yeah.
sir.
But I want to ask you a question from a X's and O's standpoint. How do you feel like you stand right currently, right? Like I said, obviously there's room to grow. You're only a rising junior, but in regards to reading defenses in option, like if y'all do option type routes, right? How comfortable or how uncomfortable are you currently on being able to assess the defense and determining what route you need to run? Have you dealt with any of that? And if so, how comfortable are you with that?
Definitely. Last year, having Alonzo as our quarterback, him being a college type of quarterback, he really made us learn quick. So those choice routes definitely had to change, especially early in the season. Seeing the corner press, he puts us on the fade ball. So I feel like it's pretty easy for us to read. But usually everybody's just playing also got to read if it's cover three or cover four, find the window from where the linebacker is going. So I'm pretty comfortable reading that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously when you look at colleges at the next level, right? These disguised defenses, right? These disguised coverages are going to change, right? So,
Yeah.
you see defenses, especially like you just coming off of a Clemson, but Clemson's defense, what you might think, just looking at it from a standpoint of from an offensive standpoint, you could see a cover two that could easily at the last second change to a cover three or one high for that matter, right? So obviously there's time to learn that. But yeah, I mean, being able to assess the defenses and knowing tendencies makes for a better chance of success at the next level, right? But
So
at that point, like you said, you're working on the flat routes, things like that. Obviously, doing RPOs. What are your thoughts on those kind of a quicker timed routes? Like I know you and Rail kind of run a mixture of routes, right? Whether it be
yeah.
slants or flies, things like that. You know, how do you feel like y'all I guess you could say, how do you feel like y'all uh, compare in a sense where like gelling together? How do y'all play like, your playing style together? I guess. How do you feel about that?
Uh, Definitely like playing with him backside. Defense always have to cover at least one of us. Put one over how one of us, the other one goes off, and vice versa. So definitely like playing with him backside. He really catches the hitches, screen passes, makes it more. I'm more like deeper ball, kind of have more speed. He's more muscle, so I definitely like playing off of him.
It's kind of like a thunder and lightning, just on that kind of
Yeah.
scale. You know what I mean? Like where you kind
Mm-hmm.
of you balance and basically complement each other very well. Just watching the
Mm-hmm.
tape for both of y'all guys, you see the differences, but it works well in the grand scheme of the offense and things like that, right? But looking at that right there, right? Obviously, let's talk about just a quick second. Right, Grimsley last season, second round playoff loss. Caught me off guard, caught a lot of people off guard. Obviously, not the expectation, not the standard for Grimsley. So, moving forward to this season, right, there's this focus, there's this physicality and emphasis on getting better and staying focused, right? Because, Coach Brown won't allow, or he doesn't want, obviously, a second round exit. There's expectations to go deep even to the state title and win it again, right? What have been your takeaways so far this off season in regards to practicing and stuff like
Uh,
that?
Definitely have to have more of a leadership this year than last year. Coming straight off the championship season and right back into the season, we're having more off season this year, so more chances to get better, faster, stronger, and build more leaders into the team also. And we have to play more physical this year. That's one reason we lost last year as well. And just making the simple plays, not trying to make something like 10-yard catch in a 50 every time. Just trying to calm it down a little bit. Fix all the little minor mistakes from last year.
Yeah, I mean, and knowing Coach Brown, right? The funny thing about it was he was a coach at Southern Guilford, which is another local high school near us. When
Mm.
I was playing back in my day, went back many, many, many moons ago, right? So he was head coach at Southern Guilford when I played at Trinity back in the day. So, but, we've talked about that. And that was funny, and that was actually interesting as hell to see, But looking forward to this season, right? There's a rematch, right? That we had. I talked to Rel about, but I want to get your opinion on this question right here. What game this season are you most excited for on your schedule this season?
Reagan or Pinecrest, definitely.
Yeah, Real said Pinecrest, or not Pinecrest. Real said Reagan as well. And listen, if you
Yeah,
if you didn't watch that game last season, I promise you it was a very good game, very good game, down to the wire. Um, but I expect it to be another interesting game this season too. I think that's probably the one. You got Page, right? But
yeah,
looking at this grand scheme of things, I think you might see like Northern Guilford at the very end would be interesting too. But just from a from a talent standpoint, I think Reagan probably is the closest matchup to Grimsley.
definitely. With them having Sam Pendleton and Samaje Turner, so they have some big guys on their team as well. But last year we didn't have the best game against them, but we still came out with a win. So that's all that matters. Though we're definitely looking to
I'm
get
telling you right
that
now,
get
that
back
was
this
that
year.
was worth the watch. That last game last year, that was worth the watch for sure. But so moving forward to this season, right? How do you plan to, just from this standpoint, right? You said you wanted to talk about bringing up a different leadership role, being in an expanded leadership role, right? What does that mean to you, right? Like what? I guess you say like, how do you plan to expand that leadership role? Like, is it doing is it just leading by example? Is it just what are your thoughts on how to get better and expand in that role?
Well, more being vocal and leading by example, because me being a freshman on the championship team, I seen what it takes, what the guys, how they acted and stuff like that, being focused. So definitely got to be more vocal, make sure everybody's locked in all the time, no more playing, because we got a lot of young guys this year as well. So just trying to stay focused 24/7, get us back to where we was.
There you go. What are your expectations for the season from a personal standpoint?
Personal, I don't know. I really haven't made goals yet. Just been trying to like make team goals as far as conference and states, taking one by one, getting better every day. Seeing all the new guys we have, so got to get them in tune with the playbook as well. So just trying to take it slow right now till it picks back up.
I know you're not necessarily on the offensive side of the ball, but two guys that I'm sold on defensively, right? About to see their first taste of varsity. That's Bryce and Andre, right? With that being said, I do have a question from Andre. How do you feel about this upcoming season? We may have touched it, but how do you feel about it overall?
I'm super confident. Feel like we can definitely win states this year, make a deep run. Feel like our defense got better as far as secondary. I feel like we got more deeper, so we can run different sets as far as man, much more than last year. So we also have a new quarterback, so just trying to get him in the timing right with RPOs and stuff. Him coming off an injury last year, but he's clear now, so I feel like we should be forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm kind of on par with that too. I think looking at Ryan and obviously coming off that ACL injury, right, and now that he's cleared, I think obviously, not only from an RPO standpoint, type offense, but just in general, right? Quarterbacks
Mm,
and receivers, you need that chemistry, you need the timing. So the more that he's able to get out there and work, I think that's only going to benefit you, Rel, all the guys, tremendously at that point,
yeah,
just from a timing standpoint. Because I mean, the lefty can sling it, right? The lefty can sling it.
yeah.
But with that being said, listen, what is your yardage prediction for yourself this season? You, like I said, last season you had 660 on 44 catches. What you thinking this season?
Well, last year I missed 3 games, so I feel like I could easily got to 1,000, but I feel like I can get to 1,000, but I'll say about 800. We have some games I feel like we're just gonna blow out the team, so we didn't even play second half, so I feel like 800 is reachable, definitely.
I like the confidence. I like it. Rail said 1,000, so you're gonna have to have a competition. How about that?
Sir.
All right. So with that being said, right. So we talked about the Clemson offer, right, and what that meant to you, right? And listen, everybody knows by this point, Clemson offers mean something, right?
Mhm.
There's a lot of schools that are going to be interested in you. Obviously, I think you're going to have a lot of eyes on Grimsley again this season, right? Like you've seen in the like
Yeah.
over recent memory, right? Grimsley's always got some D1 eyes on them, right? If you had one school, now obviously I'm not saying that this is your commitment school or anything like that, but what's your dream school if I just had to ask?
Junior school. Well, I've been liking Oregon since I was little, since they played Cam Newton in the national championship. But I don't really have a favorite team right now, but I'll say Ohio State. They sent a lot of receivers to the league. Sent Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave last year, so
I mean, and JMO, even though he transferred to Bama, think
oh
about
yeah,
that.
definitely, yeah.
So I mean,
I would definitely say Ohio State.
nah, Oregon had them uniforms though, man. I
Yeah,
mean, those uniforms always been something, especially recently.
definitely.
So with that being said, obviously there's been a lot of talk about the recruitment, the upcoming season. Where can people find you on social media, my man?
Uh, just look up D Alex Taylor 3 or D Alex Taylor. Find me on
Uh,
those.
those on Instagram and Twitter, right?
Yeah,
Gotcha. All right, give my man a follow, guys. Listen, like I said, he's already got several big offers as it stands as a rising junior. I'm telling you right now, that offer list is about to grow this season, so keep that in mind. But with that being said, hey, thanks again for coming on, taking your time, sit down and have a good conversation.
yes sir. Thank you.
All right, guys, make sure to go give my man a follow, whichever platform you use. And with that being said, have a great rest of your day.